Starting at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 2, Sam Roberson. Also at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 5, David Smith. At guard, a 6'3" sophomore, number 11, Xavier Nelson. At center, a 6'10" junior, number 14, Owen Gray. And at guard, a 6'5" senior, number 24, Curtis Blair III. The Spartans are coached by TJ Grimes. Now the starters for the number 1 seed Hawks of Highland School out of Warrenton, Virginia. They enter today's game with a record of 28 wins and 2 losses. Starting forward, a 6'6" freshman, number 3, Evan Brown. At guard, a 6'2", number 11, Julian Rivera. Also at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 10, Kai Johnson.
And our kids accepted him.
At 4, 6'5" senior, number 1, DJ Johnson. And at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 2,
but you gonna do this.
the Hawks are coached by Logan.
Dark had a good game today.
It is?
My dog.
9-6.
You ready?
You go to Steward. I got Highland right here.
I know most of them anyway.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know anyway.
And welcome back to the CBG Live Network here. We are halfway through the day after the VISAA Division 4 and Division 3 semis. Now we're on to the Division 2s. As we get into bigger schools here, and it's a very intriguing matchup here between the number 1 seed Highland in the white taking on the number 4 seed Steward in the gray with the gold lettering. And these two teams both, Highland has been the surprise of the state of Virginia so far this year with brand new coach Logan Miller. They lost pretty much all of their roster except for 1 starter and Cam Cole, all transferred out last year, and he has just rebuilt this team into what they are. And Steward School also with a first-year head coach in TJ Grimes, and they brought back a couple of good players, but still are new look and have been fantastic. And no wasted time there as junior Julian Rivera with the steal and the finish, and he has been one of those players that has really stepped up this year and has shown that he is one of the top point guards in the area. And there's Tevin Smith on the pull-up for Steward School. He'll be heading to CNU next year, Christopher Newport University, who will be playing, I believe, today at Hampton-Sydney in the Division III NCAA tournament. And the kick out there is Sam Roberson's going to line one up from deep, leaves it short. Rebound goes to Cam Cole. Cole up ahead to Rivera. The hop step, can't finish there. Rebound by big Owen Gray. And Smith is going to walk it up here for them. And Curtis Blair coming off that screen. They're going to blow it dead. They're going to say an illegal screen there on Sam Roberson. But coming off that screen was number 24, Curtis Blair. And Hamza, I'm telling you, watch him. One of the best at making tough shots that you'll find in this event. Headed to Liberty next year. Was one of Richie McKay's first guys that he was recruiting in this class. Landed him, and he's had a big year so far.
Well, it's always fun to watch tough shots go down, so hopefully he can show us a little bit of what he can do here tonight for his squad, and just looking for a all-around, intense game as we've seen most of the day. As
boom, there from the corner goes Cam Cole, who is Highland's lone senior starter. Well, no, him and Kai Johnson are the two senior starters. But Cole is the lone returner from last year's team, committed to Navy, 6'3" point guard. And as you see here, he doesn't mind taking on the task of guarding the 6'8" Owen Gray, as he's very crafty, heady, smart guy that can possibly even get him into foul trouble. As they inbound here to Blair. Blair's going to rise up. That's off the back iron. Rebound there to Gray. We got a foul call.
That's what you want to see out of the seniors on your team, that leadership, taking on the task to guard some of the best players, the tallest players on the other team. It just sets the tone for the rest of his teammates. If they're seeing the leader do it, then that's just going to make them want to do it as well.
Absolutely, and coming off that screen, Curtis Blair, 2 dribbles to the right, off the back iron there. And Cole, nice spin move. He's going to spin to the step back off the back iron. Tough shot. And that's going to be out of bounds off of Rivera. You'll see these two seniors on each team in Blair and Cole, both committed to Division I programs, good Division I programs at that. You'll see them take on a heavy load of the offense. And they have the green light to take some of these shots that you wouldn't allow other guys to take. As Blair kicks out here, Smith's going to take the ball screen. And that is going to be a foul as he was trying to throw the pass over to number 11, Xavier Nelson.
Number 10, Kai Johnson. Players first, team second.
And Smith in the corner. Going baseline. Gets it knocked away. Here comes Rivera. He's going to pitch up ahead. And no foul call there. And I don't know if the official was blocked from his view or not, but I clearly saw a hack on the arm there.
Could have been 2 fouls there on the putback as well, but, as we were mentioning last game, it's the start of the game. The refs are going to be a little lax when it comes to blowing their whistles, but I'm sure that'll change as the game goes on.
And into Gray. They're going to swing over to Roberson. Roberson going left. Drops it off to Smith. Tevin Smith from the short corner buries the jumper. I'll tell you, Tevin Smith, I've been watching him play for about 3 years now. He's one of the most improved guys in the state of in the city of Richmond, Richmond area, whatever you want to say. Went from basically a standstill shooter to being able to be kind of a combo guard that can score it from multiple levels. And good defense there by Steward, but they can't secure the rebound. So a third opportunity here for Steward, or for Highland, off the mark. Finally, they come away with it, but no, Cam Cole gets the deflection. Tries to throw it inside to Evan Brown, and they're going to say it was out of bounds. So finally, Stewart gets it back.
And I haven't watched Highland as much as you have, Jack, but I can just tell from the first couple of minutes of this game that they are a gritty team. They are not afraid to throw their bodies on the line and grab those loose balls and execute when where they need to and put in the effort where they need to.
Oh, absolutely. They are they're a heavyweight type fighter. They're going to take some punches and give them out, and they don't mind making it an ugly game, if you know what I mean. And Cole downhill on the fall away. What a tough shot there by Cameron Cole, the Navy commit. As Roberson finds Blair. Blair loses the handle. Roberson stays with it. He's going to pull up from about 15, and he knocks it down. Roberson, who I believe his first sport is soccer, actually. Apparently is a very good soccer player. But he's helped lead this Steward team to a Final Four berth, so, you know, don't sleep on him on the basketball court either. I had a talk with a coach one time. He said, we love having soccer players that are guards because they know how to move their feet.
And that's one thing I was just about to mention. You know, you have a lot of multifaceted kids these days that play a lot of sports, but soccer is one of those sports where you got to be able to know how to move your feet. You got to have great footwork. You got to be able to anticipate the next pass as well, which always helps playing the sport of basketball.
And you got to understand spacing.
Absolutely.
And underneath into Owen Gray, counted plus the foul on the pass from Blair. Gray, number 14, a junior, a reclass junior, 6'8", and you'll see him if he's able to get out and transition. He has a lot of athleticism for a kid his size. He's not one of those stiff big men that you move block to block. He can get up and down with the best of them. And free throw on the way, and it is good. And Cole's going to go inside, and DJ Johnson with two hands.
Beautiful two-man pick and roll action as Johnson rolls to the rim for the easy slam. Beautiful find by Cam as well. Looks like the loose ball there. There was no foul called on the rebound. Cam Cole lost it and went out of bounds. It'll be a Steward ball right under their basket. Tevin Smith with the inbound to Owen Gray. Beautiful step back. I'm not sure if he called bank on that, but I'm sure they'll take it. A missed shot from Highland, but they're able to secure the offensive rebound there.
Yeah, good job by Evan Brown. And we were talking about Travis Holloman, the big fellow on LCA that we were impressed with. Evan Brown is also a freshman that plays for, or that starts for this Highland school, 6'6". He is probably the closest thing to a true big that they have. And down the lane, the left-handed floater, no good. Fight for the rebound. Roberson comes away with it. And now Steward with it. They've got 10 on the clock. As Blair's going to back it out, and this is where he can kind of be really dangerous as he pulls from three, and he hits it to beat the buzzer. He's so good in late clock situations, shot clock, game clock, things like that, being able to isolate and hit tough shots like he just did. So at the end of one, 15-9, Steward leading Highland School. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. And out, or to start the second quarter here, Chance Perkins getting downhill and scoring, and he's a guy for Highland that is kind of their go-to scorer off the bench, the spark plug, as you might say. And Smith from deep, no good. Rivera swings it and trying to kick to Rivera in the corner. It is knocked out of bounds, and Logan Miller, the first-year head coach at Highland School, a graduate of Highland School, also attended Christopher Newport University, played basketball there for 4 years, was on the coaching staff before taking this job, and he's done a heck of a job in his first year. Rivera. Downhill, tough shot, but gets his own rebound. Cole's going to kick back out to Rivera, give him a redemption shot, no good. And the rebound by Blair, and he'll bring it up. And Roberson almost loses the handle. Over to Gray, he's going to try to find Blair. He gets it to him from 18, no good. That's going to be out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touch by Highland. So it will stay here with Steward. And Owen Gray over to Sam Roberson. Back to Smith. Off the ball screen. Blair from deep, no good. And the rebound to Perkins, and Chance Perkins is going to push. And they're going to set it up here, slow things down. As they kick out, and from deep, Perkins is going to bury that one. And doing what he does best, providing that spark off the bench. And it is all of a sudden a one-point game here, 5:40 remaining in the first half. Smith gets to the spot, buries the pull-up.
And that mid-range shot is a lost art nowadays at this level of basketball. You don't see very many people taking advantage of that. It's all about three-pointers nowadays, but you just love to see these kids taking advantage of the mid-range shot. It's usually always there. It's got to be confident enough to take it and make it.
You're an old soul, Hamza.
That I am. I was all about the mid-range shot back in my days.
And at 5'7", I'm sure it was easy for you to get it off. And up ahead, DJ Johnson. Well, they're going to call a charge. Getting back, Tevin Smith, the senior, getting it done on both ends of the floor right now.
I was very crafty for your information, Jack.
Oh, I'm sure. We've got a timeout here by Steward. 4:58 remaining in the first half. We'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. So out of the timeout here, Steward with it.
Steward foul. Freshman Highland foul number 10, Kai Johnson. Player second.
Foul is called on Kai Johnson.
His second foul as the senior goes to the bench. Very important piece for Highland. They want to make sure that they can keep that leadership on the floor.
The spin and finish from the 6'8" Owen Gray. Nice job by him. And in from the wing, there's Chance Perkins again. He has come out on fire, and he sure can score the basketball. There's Roberson. Swings. Smith with it. Back to Smith. Smith at the top of the keys trying to work on Perkins. His swing, Blair tries to leave it for Gray. We got a jump ball call. And possession arrow to Steward. .346 remaining here in the first half. And one thing to point out here as Smith shoots the fall away, no good. Xavier Nelson in there cleaning up for Steward. I am pretty sure that Steward School has yet to make a substitution. They have played all 5 guys. And Jeremiah Gorham from deep, no good for the sophomore, yeah. So Highland has played about 9, I would say. I think Steward has only played their starting 5.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
I mean, Steward only has 9 guys dressed right now, so.
Cancel that with me.
And Johnson with the steal in transition, no good. Rebound there by Gray. Smith's going to kick up ahead. They leave for Roberson, back to Blair, and it's going to be blocked out of bounds. Last touched by Highland.
Beautiful transition defense by Highland. I think it was a 2-on-1 there. But Highland was able to hold its own down there and get the ball to go out of bounds and prevent the bucket.
Yep, and we got a timeout here by Highland. 2:44 remaining. We'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. And here we are out of the timeout. Steward. The handoff, they trap Smith. And they find Blair in the corner. He can't hit. Fight for the rebound, and DJ Johnson comes away with it. As Rivera at the top of the key, downhill with the left hand, can't get it to go. Nelson with the rebound. And the drop-off kick out. Blocked there. Great closeout by Chance Perkins to block the three-point attempt. And as you said before, you could tell this was going to be kind of a knockdown, muck-it-up kind of game. And 21-17, 1:57 to play in the first half. The score indicates that. Absolutely.
It's going to be a defensive game, and whoever can hold their own on the defensive end is definitely going to help them. I'm not saying that's going to win in the game, but both teams are very gritty.
And the stick back there for Xavier Nelson off of the miss from Curtis Blair. It's going to be plays like that you're going to have to make to score in this type of game.
Absolutely.
And from deep, no good there for Perkins. Perkins has had the hot hand for Highland here in the second quarter.
It's just going to be a matter of who wants it more. Both teams are going to get their opportunities. Both teams are going to have to stake their ground defensively, but whoever wants it more, then that's the team that's going to come out on top.
And Blair in and out. He can't get him to go. They're not missing by a lot, but those should fall for him here soon, as he's great in that kind of 15 to 18 range.
As I said, the shots are going to be there. Just got to make them and then hold your own on the defensive end.
And Rivera going right, kicks back. Great skip pass there to Evan Brown from Cam Cole, and that's in and out too. It's just a lid on the basket right now for both teams.
Smith at the top of the key, resets it.
Yeah, I think they're going to look to hold for one shot here, as we're under 20 seconds here, 15 now. And Smith is going to pull it back. They got 8, so it's about time to go. And
Rivera
gets it taken from him by Rivera, and Roberson's going to run him down, and not a smart foul there for Roberson to end the half. As Rivera, I mean, you love the hustle, but what are the odds that Roberson is going to be able to block that shot there?
Absolutely.
So Rivera gets the bucket plus the foul. Everybody off the line. He will shoot the free throw. And in and out on that one too. So at the end of the half, number 4 Steward leading number 1 Highland 23-19 here in the VISAA Division II Semifinals. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us here. We got a great one on the CBG Live Network. And we are back here for the second half of this VISAA Division II semifinal battle. Number 1, Highland with the ball, trailing number 4, Steward, 23-19. And on the skip pass, the reversal. And one dribble pull-up for Kai Johnson, no good. Rebound goes to Owen Gray. And something to keep an eye on moving forward. I mentioned it before, and now I think it's official. Steward School has not gone to the bench. All 5 of their starters played all 16 minutes. And Tevin Smith downhill finds Xavier Nelson. Great drop off there from Smith. Had a look at the rim himself on the floater, ends up getting Nelson an easy layup there on the drop off. And now Highland looking to make something happen. Cam Cole, their senior leader, hits the lift, and from deep, that's no good for Kai Johnson. And Roberson swings to Smith. And now Blair, he's going to be bumped on the hop step. They're going to say it was on the floor.
You mentioned earlier Stewart hasn't gone to their bench at all, which will be interesting to see as the game gets closer and closer to the end of the game, especially if it stays a close game. As Blair hits the jumper, you wonder if the coach will go to the bench as a couple of players get tired out. You never know.
Right, not just fatigue. Depending on how the game will be called here in the second half, you got to worry about what that means with foul trouble. And Blair steps in and knocks that one out of bounds. But, you know, if one of your players does get into foul trouble, and now you're bringing off kids that have been sitting the whole game. But, I mean, you said it before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right now, Stewart leading 27-19 here. 5:55 left in the third quarter. No good there for Cole. Rebound by the freshman Evan Brown. And he finishes with the left hand. And that looks like Xavier Nelson is down, which means that we will have to go to the bench at least for some point in time for Stewart. And we got trainers coming out to check on him. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. So Xavier Nelson helped off the court there. We're hoping he'll be okay and able to come back. And Roberson with it over to Tevin Smith. Smith goes to Gray. And they give to number 23, Dixon Mescal, who checked in. And, ooh, tough pull up there for Curtis Blair, who's starting to get it going. The Liberty commit. And Chance Perkins seeing if he can get it going like he did off the bench in the first half. And there's Cam Cole from the top of the key. That's off the mark. Run down by Blair, and Smith's going to walk it up. And Smith to the high post for Gray, and it's knocked away, and Cam Cole is going to be fouled there by Roberson.
Steward foul on number 2, Sam Roberson. Playing his third, team's first.
Well, that's Roberson's third foul. He picked up the one at the end of the first half, trying to run down a layup, and now gets one there in transition, trying to stop a layup. Well, he does stop the layup, but again, the Steward team, not one that goes to the bench very often, as Cole misses the first one. And now, with one of their starters, Xavier Nelson, trying to shake off an injury. And he misses both. Not something you see often from Cam Cole, which just shows how rough a shooting night it has been for both teams so far. 4:25 remaining here in the third. Owen Gray, handoff to Smith. Smith's going to find Blair. Backing down, he's going to spin, he's going to shoot the fall away, and Curtis Blair. 6 straight for him. The Liberty commit from right here in Richmond. Father Curtis Blair is a NBA official, very decorated NBA official, and Blair gets the steal and then is fouled there by Cam Cole. And this is good news here for Steward, as Xavier Nelson is able to check back in the game for Dixon Mescal, excuse me. Driscoll Deskel would be a great name.
It would be a great name. You know what I think is a great name? I think Hamza is a great name too.
And at that, we're going to take a timeout. We got a timeout by Highland School. We'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. And here we are coming out of a timeout. Steward basketball leading by 10 here with 3:45 left in the third quarter. Owen Gray swings it. And from deep, Xavier Nelson, no good. And somehow Roberson comes away with the rebound. Smallest guy on the court. One of them. And now it's back to Smith. Tevin Smith. Over to Gray. Gray's going to hand off to Blair. Blair from the top of the key buries it. And he has got it going now. Showing off his scoring ability, shot-making ability from multiple levels. And Perkins at the top of the key, guarded by Blair. And from the elbow, no good for Evan Brown. The rebound and the follow there for Cam Cole. Maybe that's one that'll get Cole going here. Roberson underneath to Gray, and he is going to be fouled.
Highland foul on number 3, Jeremiah Gordon. Players first, team's third. 2 shots for Owen Gray.
And the first one on the way, that's off the mark there for Gray. And the second one, back iron as well. So an empty trip there for Steward. As Julian Rivera is going to attack right. Throws back to DJ Johnson. Back to Rivera. Rivera gets it blocked by Blair. Gets his own rebound. Almost throws it away, but Johnson comes away with it. Now Chance Perkins has it. And the floater from Perkins, no good. Rebound by Brown, kicks out. Gorham, no good. Another rebound by Evan Brown, and he is going to be fouled. The freshman relentless on the offensive glass here. He'll head to the line trying to cut it to single digits. This has been what I affectionately call a rock fight, Hamza.
Yeah, and this is the kind of game that Highland needs to play in order to get back into this game. Just being tenacious on the boards, and fighting for every rebound and fighting for every loose ball. And then they got to make their free throws as well. Free throws are going to come in huge as Highland is able to knock down 1 of 2.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do defensively too, because they put DJ Johnson, who's one of their more athletic players, on Curtis Blair, and Blair's been making shots left and right here to start the third, and that's going to be out of bounds. Good block there. But it will stay with Steward. Evan
Brown there with the block. He's going to be a huge part of this defense. It looks like he's the anchor of this team on the defensive end, and if he can really hold his own down there in the paint, I think it'll do wonders for the Highland squad down there.
And Blair able to draw the foul, and that's something about Curtis Blair's game. When you put a defensive stopper like Daryl Johnson on him, he's going to be looking to get to that step back and get to the pull-up, so he's going to play aggressively on him. He's going to be able to draw some fouls as he's off the mark from deep there. And Rivera gets it back, thought about it, drives the baseline, spins, kicks out. Perkins going left on the step back. No good. And look at Rivera crashing in for the rebound and throws it off the leg for an extra opportunity.
Great hustle by Rivera, and as I mentioned, that's going to be the name of the game right here for Highland. If they can keep doing this, keep going after every loose ball, they'll crawl back into this game in no time. And 1 for Highland there.
Players first, teams third. For the Hawks, PJ Johnson has one shot.
PJ Johnson with the and one there. Huge bucket to cut the lead down to 8.
And the free throw is good. And we got a timeout here by Steward. 34-27, 51.3 seconds left here in the third quarter. We'll be right back on the CBG Live Network. In the program.
Coming out of the timeout here as Highland knocks down the free throw for the and one. Let's see if that can get them some momentum, crawl back into this game.
And Blair's going to catch, and they're going to call him for a push-off. Rivera crowding him on the catch. It's one of those things that I feel like usually you'd be able to get away with that, but the official was right on top of him there.
The fact that Blair has some inches on Rivera as well, you know, he could push off a little bit, and it looks like he pushes off a lot, according to the refs, so has to be a little bit careful in the mismatch there.
I feel like I would be so nervous. We'll get back to this at the end of this one because we got 8 seconds left here in the third quarter. As Perkins comes off the ball screen, throws back to Rivera. Rivera underneath, drops off, and a huge block there by Owen Gray to save a basket at the end of the third. Steward School 34, Highland 27. Don't go anywhere. We got the fourth quarter with a chance at a state championship game tomorrow up for grabs. We'll be right back on the CBG Live Network. There we go to start the fourth. Steward with it. You think that they're in no rush here? As we mentioned, they've played mostly just 5 guys the whole time. Fourth quarter is where they need to take care of the basketball. Cam Cole guarding Tevin Smith super close. Gets it off, and they're going to reset here. Roberson over to Blair, guarded by Rivera. And they swing to Gray. Gray's going to go to Smith. They're going to set the ball screen. And from the corner, no good for Xavier Nelson. And Johnson from the mid-range, tough shot there, cuts the deficit to 5. Well, it seems like Steward has been in control of this game for the most part. Highland's only down 5 right now.
Yeah, Highland's been sticking to their game. You know, they're sticking to the mid-range game. They're fighting for every loose ball. They're being showing their tenacity on the rebounds.
And they're going to call a charge.
Yep.
So I was going to say before on the push-off by Curtis Blair, I would be super, super nervous trying to call fouls like that on Curtis Blair because his dad is a very decorated NBA official and also is an assistant coach on this team. So, like, if I was approached by Curtis Blair as an official, what would I be like? You don't know what you're talking about?
Right, but on the flip side of that, you know, Curtis Blair's father being an official, you would think that Curtis would have a little bit more insight when it comes to those kinds of calls, so he would be a bit more careful, even though, yeah, his father's not the one making those calls. You would just think that he'd be, you know, he would just have a little more insight, and he would just know what to do in order to not get those calls called on him. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And you see how crafty he is as a player. It probably does have something to do with that. His dad was also a terrific player himself. As Blair going left, he's going to turn back, shoot that fall away, cash it off the bank. And oh, they're going to say out of bounds off of Highland. What hustle by Sam Roberson. And that fired up the Steward team here. So we're down to under 6 play here, 5:52 remaining.
Every basket counts at this point for Highland. They want to get back into this game.
Honestly, for both teams, is great defense there by Rivera, but the follow, it just fell right in the hands of Owen Gray. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way.
Yeah, demoralizing for Highland. They've been very good on the boards, but as you mentioned, sometimes the ball just doesn't want to come to you. Just goes straight to the other team. That's what happened there.
And Johnson, a nice pass inside. Evan Brown gets the finish plus the foul. And that's exactly what Highland need.
Exactly. Chance to cut the lead down to 6 now. If he can knock down this free throw. Looks like we're going to have another tight one on us.
And up next here in the other D2 semifinal is Hargraves Military Academy's varsity team taking on Miller School of Albemarle. So those two teams have played 3 times this year. Miller blew them out in like the second week at home. Then they had to play Hargrave twice on the road, and each game was decided by 2 points. So it looks like we're buckle up and get ready for another close one in the next game too.
Absolutely.
And leaving it in the paint there for Blair. And we got a timeout call by Steward here. 38-32. 4:53 remaining in this one. Stay with us here on the CBG Live Network. And here we go, out of the timeout. Steward with it. Roberson tries to go to Gray. It's poked away. Out in transition. DJ Johnson with the finish. And now it's a 4-point ball game all of a sudden, 4.5 to play. And if you wonder if the fresh legs of Highland compared to that of Steward is maybe making some of these turnovers possible. And almost another one there. DJ Johnson got a little bit over aggressive and ends up fouling Tevin Smith. Both of them kind of limbering a little bit after that. Maybe bump knees or something like that. That is Highland's 6th team foul. Both teams have 16 fouls, so the next foul either way is going to result in free throws.
Another thing to keep an eye on is as the game comes down to the wire, Steward only has 2 timeouts remaining as Highland only has 3. Could mean some trouble for Steward if Highland can make their way back into this game, perhaps take the lead. Those timeouts will come in handy.
And Roberson over to Smith. Smith's going to go inside to Blair. Blair posting up. And they're going to call the foul on the floor on Julian Rivera. So now we're into the bonus here with Curtis Blair going to the line.
That's a tough matchup for Julian Rivera.
Oh, 100%.
Julian Rivera being 6 foot and Curtis Blair being 6'5".
Curtis Blair being so good at hitting those fallaways. And he misses the front end. Free throws are going to matter.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing you got to take into consideration with how much these guys on Steward have played. And the pull-up, knocking it down is Cam Cole.
That's a 2-point game. 3:48 remaining, and you're absolutely right. The fatigue is definitely going to play a huge part when it comes down to free throws for the Steward squad late in the game.
As they swing to Roberson. He's picked up by Johnson, and a foul is going to be called. And the Highland bench did not like that call.
That puts...
So Roberson will head to the line here. I don't know if he's been at the line today. But again, they missed the front end last time. These are big free throws here, leading by 2 with 3:34 remaining in this one. And he misses the front end
again.
And Cam Cole, blow by, can't get the finish. Gonna say last touch by Cole. Oh, here we go. The officials gathering. Nope, change the call. It stays here with Highland.
Even though he missed the layup, you can definitely tell the fatigue is playing a factor, as the blow-by was very quick to happen. Roberson wasn't able to keep up with Cam.
Yeah, there's no rotation defensively. I mean, this is kind of what you were hoping. You were hoping you were able to keep that 10-point lead going, but now it's down to 2, and one team looks much fresher than the other one, especially on the defensive end.
And that's where it matters most on the defensive end, The offensive end, the buckets will come to you, but if you can stop the other team on defense, then that's where you win the ball game.
And Smith, good defense by Tevin Smith, but Cam Cole is starting to feel it, and he knocks it down.
Tie game with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
And Cole almost got the steal there. And now Blair was looking to get the handoff to Smith. Can't do it. Gets it back. He's going to get a ball screen. Waves it off. Gets to his spot. Rises up. No good.
Tough shot, but great defense by Rivera. Smart enough not to get into the shooter's landing space. Not foul him either.
And Cole, he's going to take it, and a foul is going to be called on Roberson. I believe that's Roberson's fourth. And that puts Highland into the bonus, so Cam Cole will step to the line with a chance to take the lead here on a one-on-one situation. I mean, Steward just looks depleted at this point.
And you can clearly tell, you can just tell by their body language that they're absolutely gassed right now.
Yep.
Not making the rotations quick enough on defense, not having enough legs to hit their free throws. We'll see if Coach TJ Grimes decides to sub some new fresh legs in.
And Cole misses the front end. And Roberson almost loses the handle there. He's going to find Smith. Smith over to Blair. Blair's going to use the ball screen on the step back. Off the mark.
Great defense again by Rivera, forcing Blair into that tough step back three.
I mean, I think at this point, and Cole trying to get downhill, it's knocked away by Gray. I mean, I think at this point, if they're going to keep guarding Blair with Rivera, and the way that they all look so gassed, I would almost consider putting Blair in the post. And what a play there as Roberson finds Nelson, and Nelson hits another shot. And we've got a timeout from Highland. 1:21 remaining in this one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. And here we go, folks. Gut check time. A trip to the state finals on the line here. Number 4, Steward leading number 1, Highland 40-38. Minute 20 remaining, Highland basketball. Both teams in the bonus.
And Highland desperately needs a bucket here. They still have some time, even if they don't score, but it'll make it awfully tough for them as Rivera pulls
Rivera, big time shot from Julian Rivera.
Big shot. Huge on the defensive end and making a huge shot for Highland as well.
Blair over to Gray. Stewart trailing by 1. 50 seconds remaining. Smith tries to get it to go. It rims out. And a big rebound there by DJ Johnson. And, I mean, you got a foul here. And we got a timeout. Timeout by Logan Miller of Highland. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the CBG Live Network. So out of the timeout here, 36.7 seconds left. Highland 47, Steward 0. I mean, at this point, you got to, I understand maybe trying to get a steal or something off the inbound. It didn't happen. I think you got to foul. And, I mean, Cam Cole is their senior leader that you don't want at the line, but he hasn't been great at the line today.
He hasn't been great from the field today. Maybe you think that'll have an effect at all when it comes to pressure time here, last 30 seconds.
And no, it doesn't.
It does not.
First one, good.
2-point lead for Highland, 42-40 with just under 30 seconds remaining. As Cole puts up and knocks down the second as well.
3-point ball game, folks.
Robertson inbounding the ball for Stewart.
And Robertson kicks to the corner. Xavier Nelson off the mark. Fight for the rebound here. We got a jump ball.
And it looks like it's going Highland way.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
I'm really surprised. I thought Coach Grimes might call a timeout in that situation. Not a bad shot, but I think that you kind of want, you got two seniors in Tevin Smith and Curtis Blair that are probably your best shooters.
You want to draw something up for them out of the inbound set. I think what Coach Grimes was trying to do is trying to get a quick transition three, but as gassed as his players are, probably a timeout would have been the best option. We'll see what they can do here on the inbound.
43-40. They get it into Chance Perkins, and the sophomore is going to be fouled. He will head to the line.
Big free throws here for the sophomore. All he needs to do is just make one to make it a two-possession game with 16 seconds left. Puts up the first and drills it.
Big time shot. And this is what Highland has done all year, just found ways to gut out wins.
Yep, as we mentioned, as he puts up the second, drills the second. This was Highland's name of the game coming into the contest. You could tell how gritty they were from the start. And that same grit looks like may have just won them the game here tonight as they lead by 5 with 16 remaining.
Yep, we got a timeout by Steward. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back on the CBG Live Network. Here we go out of the timeout. The trap comes, and a foul is going to be called. But we were talking about how they hadn't really subbed, and they decide to sub in this scenario. And Hudson Smith, number 3, who was fouled, has not been in the game all day, and now heads to the line with 9.9 seconds left.
I think it's a little too late for these substitutions to come into play. Maybe if it was a little bit earlier.
Well, now you've got a guy who hasn't been on the floor all game.
Exactly.
With a 1-and-1 with 9.9 seconds left. And he drills it.
4-point lead now with 9.9 seconds remaining here in the fourth. He's going to have to drill this one again and hopefully come up with a steal as he misses
back iron. And they foul Rivera. Rivera will take that most likely victory walk down to the line. You get to step in and soak it all in that you're headed to the state championship game. And they will play the winner of Hargrave and Miller School.
And as Rivera steps up to the line, not a huge game in terms of scoring, but his defensive matchup as he hits the first, his defensive matchup against Curtis Blair and being able to slow him down and then hitting that big shot to give them the lead earlier in the fourth.
Big time shot.
Big time shot.
And we got a timeout by Steward. 46-41, 7.5 seconds left in this one. We'll be right back here on the CBG Live Network. And Rivera knocks it down. And that will just about do it. 5 seconds remaining in this one. Up ahead, Nelson. I mean, they needed to shoot it. They didn't. And that'll do it. Highland comes from behind to avoid the upset. And the number 1 seed Highland, I want to say the Wildcats. I'm not sure their mascot. But Highland moves on. They will play the winner of this one between Miller and Hargrave in the state championship tomorrow at 3. And you know, we're going to have it here too. So be sure to tune back in. And also, get ready for this one coming up because this one's going to be a doozy here on the CBG Live Network.